Let's talk more Big Ten hoops. And, you know, if you can't quite figure out how good Maryland is or Northwestern is or even Purdue, what about Scotty? 15th in the land, hosting Penn State. You expect them to win. They did. First half, Bronson Koenig going to drop the quick three right there. Release, rise, and fire. Koenig was far from done. Later drives, pull-up floater. Nice. Had a game-high 20. And he can flat out shoot it. Second half, and more of the same. Now off the inbound, look at that throwdown. Khalil Iverson. I mean, you got to coach him up, Penn State. You can't allow that off the inbound. Easy win, as expected for Bucky Badger, 82-55. Again, you look at it and you say it's kind of a logjam in the middle. Good teams in the Big Ten, and Scotty is part of that good team conversation. Could they be the best of the Big Ten? Are they a team, because they're tried and true, that maybe you think, tournament, don't sleep on Scotty?
I think so. The experience factor is the main thing to me that separates Wisconsin from some of the other squads in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
When you look at a Bronson Koenig with the 20 points, he's a senior. Vito Brown played very well. He had 16. He's a senior as well. Ethan Happ, the sophomore, didn't necessarily come through today. 14 points,
Not
though.
bad.
A solid contribution. But at the end of the day, at half, this was just a 3-point game at the half, and Wisconsin just blew Penn State out in the second half. I don't know what Coach Greg Gard said in the locker room at halftime, but whatever it was, he probably should bottle it up and save it for another time to see if it'll work then as well, because it was very effective. The Badgers came out in the second half, and lo and behold, when you mention the logjam, right now Wisconsin 6-1, Maryland 6-1, Purdue 6-2 in the Big Ten. If I had to pick a team, I would go Wisconsin. They've been playing very, very well, and that experience when they get in tight games. Tonight wasn't tight because they blew out Penn State,
Sure.
but when they're in a tight game, I think that experience will really help them.
It's interesting because you look at the Big 12 and you say, well, they've got an elite team, obviously, in Kansas. Hey, West Virginia could be in that discussion. Baylor certainly up there in that discussion. The teams we mentioned at the top of the Big 10, maybe they don't have a singular team that could be as good as those three teams we just mentioned. And I wonder how the committee, because we're getting closer to that time, people, as we round out January, February, home stretch for March, how they're going to view the Big Ten this year and how good that logjam is and where they see these teams. Because I could see, say, right now, Bucky Badger being a 3
Maybe.
or a 4, and that's a dangerous, dangerous team.
Tough matchup for
that
sure.
you might not want to play. But
They're going to get a lot of teams in. That is for sure.
sure, we
They
just
could
don't know
be
how elite the best of the
how
best
high
will be.
those seeds will